Yeah, thank you for showing up to this live. I really felt inspired to do this live on this specific topic. Just through working with some of my clients, it's a topic that comes up quite a lot. Um, hey, Liana, how are you? Right, okay, so I can see the more comments coming through. Yeah, so it's just a topic that I work on quite a lot with a lot of the clients that I have. So, yeah, I just felt really inspired to talk about it. And what I want to talk about is really just like speaking your truth, right? So using your voice, speaking up when you want to, communicating and being heard. Basically, all of that, that kind of topic is all around the same kind of theme, and it can, if you're not able to do that effectively or healthily, it can be really rooted in quite similar things, right? So I just felt interested in doing this energy clearing for that, okay? So for anyone that doesn't know me, because I'm going live on Instagram and I never go live on Instagram, so just in case there's anyone, yes, so powerful. Yeah, of course, 100%. For anyone that doesn't know me who might be watching on Instagram, my name is Derek O'Shea and I'm an energy healer. And basically, what I do is I help really ambitious people to heal from their childhood trauma and release like deep rooted subconscious limiting beliefs so that they can really just step into the version of themselves that they want to, so that they can move forward in their life exactly as they want it, so that they're not limited anymore by whatever happened to them in the past, in childhood, and all of the limitations that they're carrying that they were conditioned with, basically. So what we do is we clear all that out of the way so they can step into this what they want to be. And how we do that is by using a technique called Theta healing, okay? So Theta healing, basically, just to give you a little rundown of it, like very briefly, Theta healing is an energy healing technique which basically allows us to identify subconscious limiting beliefs and basically just release them. So change them, right? And how we do that is just using this very simple meditation technique, Theta healing. Okay, so it allows us to identify subconscious limiting beliefs, and then what we do is we just kind of change them, like release them from the subconscious and replace them with like more positive and empowering belief systems. And when we do this, what it does is it releases all of the unhealthy patterns, energies, any shock or trauma that's kind of attached to the beliefs, because the beliefs are always created from like experiences that we have throughout our life, like mostly from childhood. So these experiences that we have, like if we have negative experiences and we create negative beliefs as a result of them, there generally tends to be like energy attached to it, like trauma, shock, um, unhealthy patterns, negative emotions and feelings. So when we identify the beliefs and change them, like clear them out using this technique, what happens is it releases all of the shock and all of the trauma at the, that's connected with them at the same time. And that's what allows the transformation to happen. So it literally just dissolves everything that's attached to the beliefs. And then when we do that, it just creates like huge transformation, like in whatever area of your life that you're focusing on, like whether you're focusing on this, what I'm going to talk about now, using your voice, speaking your truth, whether you're dealing with issues of anxiety, self-worth issues, relationship issues, money issues, whatever you're focusing on, okay? There's always beliefs rooted, like creating basically what your situation is in any part of your life. What you believe about it is what's creating it, and how you create the beliefs about anything is through the experiences that you have in life, basically. So what we do with this technique, just to remind you all, is that we basically just identify what those beliefs are. We identify where they were created, and then we can change them in that way. Really quite it's quite simple and very, very, very powerful. Okay, so if now I want to move on to the topic, right? So just while, if you're new to this, receiving this kind of work, right, all you need to know is that you just have to say yes whenever I'm offering anything. If I ever offer like a clearing or a download, or maybe to change a belief, you simply just have to say yes, and then you'll receive it. So what I'm doing, you'll see that I'll have my eyes closed. So what I'm doing is I'm just connecting into source energy, okay? And when I'm connected into this energy, it basically allows me to like change these beliefs for whoever wishes to receive it, right? Because we're connecting into source energy, and with source energy, like it's everywhere. Like this is divine energy, so it's everywhere at all times, and we're all a part of it. So no matter where you are in the world, if you want to receive this work, you just simply have to say yes. And then what I do is I just witness the changes happening for whoever wants to receive it, basically. And I do all that like while I kind of have my eyes closed. So yeah, it's that simple. You just have to give permission to receive it and just allow yourself to receive it, and you'll feel the shifts happening as we're doing it. Okay, so just on this topic around speaking your truth, if anyone has anything in particular that they struggle with on this topic, like what comes up for you around this? Like what do you struggle with? Like, because if you can get as specific as possible, then what I can do is I can actually help you to clear it. So if you just want to share in the chat what comes up for you around this, like what do you feel is, if there's something that you struggle with like speaking up or using your voice, what is it that comes to mind? And if you're watching on Instagram as well, feel free to comment. So I see there's 3 people live there. So while I'm waiting for the comments to come through, if they are, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share like an example or two that I kind of come across with my clients. Okay, so something very common, like a belief that would hold people back from speaking up, using their voice, which I always identify. I just think it's quite common, is the belief that what I have to say is not important. Okay, and this is very common, like, because as kids we can find ourselves in situations. Okay, maybe we have parents that they're very busy, very stressed out. This is just an example, and we would find that maybe they weren't really paying attention to us because maybe they just had a lot going on. Maybe they were very stressed out, or maybe they were actually just, maybe you had parents that actually weren't there for you actually physically. Maybe they had like their own problems and they couldn't show up for you in the way that you needed to. So like they wouldn't be hearing you, or they wouldn't be available to listen to you. Like just situations like that can send us messages like that. You know, like whatever I have to say is not important. And that's where you're in it. It creates a belief. Okay? So Bex says, speaking your truth but no one listening. Yeah, so tell me more about that, Bex. Like what specifically is coming up around that? Right, so, and I'll just wait for you. I'll just wait for your comment, Bex. So with that, like, if there's a belief there, if there's a belief like what I have to say is not important, what that will do is that will actually hold you back from showing up, from being seen, from taking up space. For example, if you have a business and this is a belief that you have programmed into you from childhood, like what can happen is that you'll actually stop yourself from doing stuff like this, like what I'm doing. You know, like you'll stop yourself from sharing like the work that you do. You'll stop yourself from sharing like the stuff that you want to talk about, because on a deep rooted level you feel like it doesn't matter what you have to say, like it's not important. You know, I think Baxter, I think like you said, like I'm not important enough. Okay, perfect. So that's literally just an example of how it can be holding you back. Like, or in your personal life, you won't like speak up in situations or give your opinion, even just for fear of like feeling like that again, you know, because you don't think that what you have to say is important. So you'll just hold yourself back completely from speaking up when need to, or it can even help you with in terms of like communication, like in a relationship. Okay, so right, so Bex is resonating with that, right? So let's just start doing some clearing for that, right? So if this is resonating with you, if this is a belief, you'll know because it'll just resonate with you. You'll just feel like, yeah, that feels true for me. So, can we just, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just release the belief that what I have to say is not important, right? And then, Bex, what I want you to do is I want you to tell me, I want you to think if carrying a belief like that was teaching you anything, okay? So let's just say from you feeling like you weren't listened to, you weren't heard, carrying this belief, if that was teaching you anything positive, what do you think that would be? Like, if there was a positive lesson in that, okay? So just let me know in the comments. But meanwhile, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just clear this belief for whoever wishes to receive it, okay? So let's just release this belief and let's just replace it, okay, with the truth of what was really going on whenever anyone, like, whenever you kind of created the belief, okay? So for everybody that's watching, like, you'll have a different kind of scenario, a different reason for this belief being created. But like, for instance, I'll just talk to you, Bex, but like, for instance, if you, I think I have to speak clearly and not waffle and say exactly what I need to be said. Amazing, I'll come back to that in a minute. So the truth of the situation, like, let's say if you had a parent that was just very busy or very stressed, like, right, and they were just focused on their issues, their problems, and they weren't really able to listen to you when you needed them to. The truth is, like, 9 times out of 10 anyway, is that they wouldn't have been doing it intentionally. Like, they wouldn't be not listening to you because they don't think what you have to say is important. It was most likely because they just had their own stuff going on and they actually just couldn't be present for you in that sense. So does that make sense? Like, the truth of it is that it's not a reflection of you and your value. So can we just clear that belief and can we just replace it with the truth of what was really going on whenever you created it? And if you would like to receive that, just simply say yes. Okay, and then, yeah, so Beck says, yes, I've learned now it was their filters. Exactly, so it was like them just moving through life in the way that they know best. Like, them basically just living through like their beliefs and their limitations, okay? So, and can we just clear away, right, any of the sadness that you still might be carrying from any experience where you were when you were younger, you where you weren't listened to and like you made it all about yourself. There's like a lot of sadness that you can pick up from there, from just not being listened to and not being heard. So can we clear out all the sadness, okay? And can we just replace it with the truth, that you are worthy and deserving of being listened to? And can we teach you all what it feels like to be listened to be heard? And can we bring in for you the feeling of what it feels like to actually speak and be heard? Like, can we teach you what that feels like, and can we teach you what it feels like to actually speak your truth without feeling like you're not important? And can we just reconnect you all back in with the value? Yeah, Bex has loads of sadness, so that's the sadness that I was picking on. So we're going to clear all that out now. And I know that I'm kind of like conversating with Bex back and forth, but like this, if this resonates with you, you can receive it. You literally just have to say yes and receive it, and it'll all come true to you. Okay, it doesn't matter that I'm just talking back and forth with Bex. Okay, so Bex, let's just bring in the lessons here, the learnings, because what our subconscious what our subconscious will do, okay, is hold on to, like in this case, a limitation, a belief, and the belief being like what I have to say is not important. It will hold on to that because in some way it was teaching you something positive. There's always like a positive learning or a lesson to take away from the experience. Okay? And in your case, it was teaching you how to speak clearly, okay, and say exactly what needs to be said. So it was bringing you in like discernment around that. So can we show you, and for anyone else that wishes to receive it, can we show you all how to speak clearly and to say exactly what needs to be said in any given moment that you're in? And can we teach you what it feels like to know through your awareness, through your intuition, like just what does need to be said in any moment? You'll just know it. It'll just be downloaded to you through your intuition. So can we teach you what that feels like to do that as well, but without carrying this belief that what I have to say is not important? Can we? Okay, so what I can feel now is all that sadness is clearer now, Beck. So let me know how that's feeling. And can we teach you what it feels like now to recognize the value of what you have to say? Okay, can we show you all that what you have to say is important? And can we teach you what it feels like and show you how to actually see the importance in it, for you to know that it's important? Yeah? And can we just reconnect you all back in with that? And anywhere any of you kind of like made it, if somebody didn't listen to you, it meant that it meant something about you and your value. Like it meant that like you weren't important. Can we clear whatever meaning you've attached to it about you, and everywhere you made it mean something about your self-worth and your value? Can we just clear all that out? Can we? Okay, and so can we teach? Well, Bex says awesome, thanks. Okay, amazing, you're welcome. So can we teach you all what it feels like to speak up with confidence, to speak your truth confidently? Can we teach you what it feels like to speak your truth feeling confident? Can we teach you what it feels like and show you how to speak your truth and feel safe, feel seen, and feel heard? And can we show you that you're worthy and deserving of being heard? Can we? Right, and then can we just bring in a clearing, let's just bring in a healing just for your throat chakra. Okay, so let's just clear out any kind of stuck energy that's in your throat chakra that's preventing you from just using your voice now. Okay, and saying what you want to say. And can we show you that you're allowed to say what you want to say whenever you want, whenever you feel called to it? You're allowed to. Let's download you all with permission now to actually speak your truth, to say what's on your mind when you feel aligned to do it, when you feel like the time is right. Can we download you with permission to do that? And anywhere as a kid where you were told that you just weren't allowed, you weren't allowed to speak, that you were better off just to be quiet, can we just clear all that out now and replace it with the truth of what was really going on, the divine truth? Yes? Okay, so I'm seeing a lot has cleared out from your throat chakra, Bex. So let me know how that is. I don't have any other comments there, so I'll probably finish that up now. Oh, I have one more download to bring in for you all, okay? So can we just teach you all what it feels like to actually trust that you know what you're talking about? Can we teach you what it feels like to know the difference, okay, between what other people are saying, okay, and what you know to be true for you? And can we teach you what it feels like to trust your intuition and and trust in what you have to say, knowing that it's your truth. And can we bring in this? Can we bring in the awareness, the belief that your truth is perfectly okay because it's yours. Okay, it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. It's yours. It's not anyone else's. So can we just bring that in for you? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Hey, Dora. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. So let me know. Let me know how that's feeling. Beck said yes, I can feel the stuff is shifted. The sadness is shifted too. Amazing, thank you. I wasn't expecting this, but that's how. Yeah, that's how amazing it is. You're an angel. I'm an angel, I guess. You're welcome, Bex. So glad I could do that. So basically, if you come across this video and you're watching it as the replay, you can still watch this and you'll receive everything. Um, there is literally, oh hey Michelle, there's literally no difference in when you watch it, if you're live or not. Like that's what's so amazing about this work is that you can watch a replay of something of an energy clearing, and as long as you take part and you just say yes, you will receive everything from it. You still receive the energy work, like you'll still have shifts, like it doesn't matter. That's what's so amazing about this work. So I encourage you to, if you're watching it on the replay, watch it all the way through to the end and get what you need from it. And please share it with anybody else that you feel may benefit from it. If anyone has any other questions, please just pop them in the chat before we finish. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share something with you also. If anybody that's watching this, anyone that's live, if you are if you're interested in finding out more about this work or what it would be like to work with me on a one-to-one basis, what I'm doing is I'm opening up some one-to-one connection calls with me over the next couple of weeks. I've 4 of these left available at the moment. It's a completely complimentary call. What we're going to do is we'll just connect, okay, and we'll get in. I'll help you to identify kind of the areas in your life, like that you need to address that would be holding you back. I'll help you to identify some of the biggest subconscious blocks and limiting beliefs that you'll need to work on shifting, like in this way, in order for you to move forward to the next phase of your life or your personal development, whatever that would be. And then what I'll do as well is I'll have a little mini one-to-one session with you, like just so that you can experience this work on a one-to-one basis, because on a one-to-one basis it's so much more powerful because we go so much deeper, because we're able to really just get in and identify all of the limiting beliefs that you are carrying specifically, and all the individual ways that you could be like holding on to that you could be holding on to them, all the ways that it's serving you to hold on to them, and you can't figure all that out in just like a live video like this. So in order to go deeper with the work, you really need to like do one-to-one. So for anyone that books these calls, what I'm doing is I'm doing a little mini session of the work as well to give you a little idea. And then what we'll do is if it feels like it's a fit for us to work together at the end of a conversation, then what we'll do is we'll take the conversation to the next level, and I'll share with you how we could do that, what my programs are like, and then we can just take it from there, okay? And if it's not a fit for us to work together, or if you choose not to, it doesn't matter. You'll still walk away with so much more clarity on what your next steps are and what you need to work on moving forward, okay? So it's really like a win-win situation on these calls. You'll get tons of clarity and energy clearing as well on the calls, okay? So I'm just going to share it into comments here. If you want to, you can just click that link and just pick a time that's suitable for you over the next week or two, right? And for anyone watching on Instagram, I'm going to share the replay of this to Instagram, and I'll share the link of that will be in my bio, okay? So I'm just gonna end the video there, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and hope you have an amazing day.